So can Pegasus really hack your iPhone? I mean, if you listen to the hype online, you think it's this unstoppable ghost that can break into any device, anytime, without you even clicking a single thing. And yeah, that sounds absolutely terrifying. But here's the thing, it's also deeply misleading. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to separate the Hollywood myth from the actual engineering reality. No fear, no hype. Just a straight-up look at how this infamous spyware actually works, and maybe more importantly, where its limits really are. Okay, let's get into it.
And look, this is the question on everyone's mind, right? It's dramatic, it grabs your attention, and it taps into a very real fear we all have about the security of these little rectangles we carry around with us everywhere. And the short answer is, well, kind of. But that yes is buried under a mountain of caveats and conditions and limitations. So many, in fact, that the question itself is actually the problem. It's the wrong way to think about it.
So let's just throw that first question out. We need a better one. The right question isn't a simple yes or no. The right question is this: under what conditions can Pegasus compromise iOS, and where are the real limits? Because Pegasus doesn't just hack iOS like some movie villain typing furiously. It's a precision tool that exploits extremely specific, rare vulnerabilities under very specific circumstances. And shifting your perspective to that is the key to understanding this entire topic.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we're going to bust the Pegasus myth wide open. Then, we'll get into the anatomy of this cyber weapon and take a look at the incredible iOS fortress it has to try and breach. After that, we'll talk about its surprising fragility, what your actual digital threats are, and finally, we'll zoom way out to the ultimate hardware limit that affects every single smartphone on the planet.
All right, first things first, the Pegasus myth. Before we can even begin to understand what this thing is, we have to be super clear about what it is not. And honestly, this is where so much of the media coverage just flies off the rails.
Okay, let's just kill these myths right now. Pegasus is not a magic app. It's not some malware where you click a bad link and it's game over. And this is so important. It is not a permanent backdoor built into iOS. It is absolutely 100% not something that your average hacker or cybercriminal could ever get their hands on. The whole idea that there's some secret master key that spy agencies have, that's pure fiction. Pegasus isn't some deep OS compromise. It's a temporary exploitation of a bug, and that one distinction changes everything. So if it's not some magic master key, then what in the world is it? Okay, let's move on to the actual technical reality. Let's look at the anatomy of this thing and define what we're really talking about. So here's the textbook definition. Pegasus is a cyber espionage framework from a company called NSO Group. Its entire reason for existence is to silently compromise a specific device for a specific person during a specific, very narrow window of time. And it does this using what are called zero-day exploit chains, basically a series of undiscovered flaws in the software. The thing you really need to get here is that Pegasus doesn't break iOS itself. It just abuses a few tiny cracks in the wall for a short time before Apple comes along and patches them up.
Now, to really appreciate just how hard a Pegasus attack is to pull off, you have to understand what it's up against. You see, iOS isn't some flimsy shed. From a remote attack perspective, it is a fortress. It's arguably the single hardest mainstream mobile OS to break into. Apple designed the whole thing around layers of security so that even if an attacker gets past one wall, there's another one right behind it.
So it all starts the second you hit that power button. Layer 1 is something called secure boot and code signing. This basically means that every single piece of software, from the absolute deepest level all the way up to the operating system, has to have a digital signature from Apple. If even one link in that chain has been tampered with, the phone just says nope and won't even start. It creates this foundation of trust from the very beginning.
All right, layer 2, the app sandbox. And you can literally think of this as a tiny digital jail cell for every single app on your phone. An app lives in its cell, it can only touch its own data, and it can only use the system resources it's been given explicit permission for. It can't peek into another app cell, and it definitely can't just wander out and mess with the core of the operating system. This containment is absolutely fundamental.
Okay, and now we're getting deep into the weeds, down to the silicon level. Modern iPhones have defenses baked right into the chip. Things like pointer authentication codes, or PAC, which act like a cryptographic bouncer, checking the ID of a program's instructions to make sure they haven't been hijacked. This is combined with powerful kernel protections that basically wrap the most sensitive parts of the operating system's brain in a vault. These aren't just software tricks, these are hardware defenses.
You know, this quote really just nails it. To fully compromise a modern iPhone, you don't find one bug.
That's not enough. You need to find a whole series of them, and then you have to string them together in a perfect, flawless sequence. That's not hacking in the way we usually think of it. That is delicate, precise digital surgery.
Okay, so how do they pull off this digital surgery? Let's walk through the heist step by step. It usually starts with step 1, a zero-click delivery. Maybe a weirdly formatted iMessage that you never even see on your screen. That triggers step 2, a parsing bug. The phone tries to process a corrupted image file or a weird font, and bam, that contains the first bit of code. But it's trapped in that app's sandbox, right? So step 3 is a sandbox escape, a second exploit to break out of that digital jail. Then the grand finale, step 4, a kernel exploit, a third bug to get the keys to the entire kingdom. And only after all of that can they finally deploy their payload, often just in the phone's memory, so it leaves no trace on the hard drive.
Okay, so we've just seen this incredibly complex, almost impossible attack chain. But here's the twist. Here's the part nobody talks about. For all of its insane power and sophistication, this weapon has a massive Achilles heel. It is incredibly, incredibly fragile.
And here's the bottom line. The thing that changes everything. Pegasus is ridiculously expensive, it's temporary or ephemeral, and it is fragile. It just doesn't last. The myth is this all-powerful, persistent spyware. The reality is something much more like a delicate house of cards. So why is it so fragile? Well, a couple of huge reasons. First, Apple is in a constant arms race, pushing out iOS updates that patch the very vulnerabilities Pegasus needs. The moment an exploit chain is found, it's considered burned. It's a multi-million-dollar tool that just became worthless. An exploit for iOS 15 is completely useless on iOS 16. On top of that, because the spyware often lives only in memory, a simple reboot of the phone can wipe it out completely. This means they might have to reinfect the target, which is risky, expensive, and just a huge headache. This is not a tool for watching everyone. It's a scalpel for very specific situations.
And all of this brings us to maybe the most important point of this whole discussion. While the world is mesmerized by this spy movie threat, most of us are completely missing the real danger. It's time to reframe what we should actually be worrying about.
I mean, just look at this chart. It tells the whole story. The chance of you or me or almost anyone watching this being targeted by a nation-state with Pegasus is so small it's basically zero. Meanwhile, the chance of getting a phishing email trying to steal your iCloud password or an attacker trying to swap your SIM card, that is incredibly high. The difference isn't just big, it's astronomical.
This table breaks it down even further. Pegasus? That's a menace for journalists in war zones, high-level diplomats, and political dissidents. But for the average person, the real menace is a text message that looks like it's from your bank but isn't. It's a clever email trying to get you to give up your password. It's social engineering. These attacks don't need million-dollar zero-day exploits. They just need to exploit human nature. And they work all the time.
All right, for this last section, we're going to go even deeper. We're going to talk about something that goes beyond just iOS or Android. A fundamental challenge for every smartphone out there. We need to talk about the baseband modem.
And this quote right here is key. The baseband is basically a tiny, separate computer inside your phone whose only job is to talk to the cell tower. It runs its own secret, proprietary software. And it is a hard architectural limit on security for everyone. It's this little black box that we all just have to trust, even though we know we probably shouldn't.
So this table does a really good job of comparing how different systems handle this problem. As you can see, the firmware control is opaque, a black box on every single platform. No one really knows what's going on in there. So what can they do? They use hardware to build a wall around it, something called an IOMU, to isolate it from the main OS. Apple does it, Google does it. The real difference is how big the attack surface is, how many doors and windows there are in that wall. iOS keeps it pretty small, stock Android a little bigger, and a super secure OS like grapheneos is obsessed with shrinking that surface down to almost nothing. The point is, nobody secures the modem. The best they can do is build a better prison for it.
And that right there is the punchline. That's the whole game. It's not about who can secure this insecure little black box. It's about who can build the strongest walls to contain the damage when, not if, it inevitably gets compromised or just plain misbehaves.
So here we are, back where we started. Pegasus is real, it's powerful, but it's also a fragile, eye-wateringly expensive and hyper-targeted weapon of espionage. It doesn't prove that iOS is insecure. If anything, it proves that compromising a properly defended modern device takes the resources of a nation-state, which leaves us all with a much more personal question. Now that you know the engineering reality,
Are you worrying about the right things?